Welcome back to Space Engineers. And it's time to, well, get on with our base, I think. I've just been having a look at the entrances and exits here, and to sort of give this a good look, let's just head up and out and you'll see what, well, ooh, bonus. Oh, not bonus. Bonus small steel tube. Yes, so we've got this quite a huge entrance, and I quite like the idea of this kind of size of entrance. Obviously, we're going to have to remove that, but that's another thing. And I think, given the other side, if you have a look, the top of the hole on the other side is about halfway up, thereabouts. So eventually, I think we'll get some kind of craft that will just mine it straight through that and create a sort of a rectangular hole all the way through the asteroid. We're not there yet, but that's the kind of idea that I think I'd rather want for this. And just because of the shape of the entrance here, there's sort of a side entrance on this side. It's sort of an irregular hole, but again, because of the size of the asteroid, it's big enough. Yes. I've turned up the sound up as well, by the way. Some people were saying the sound wasn't loud enough. So yeah, because of the side of the asteroid, it might be well to have a second smaller hangar here if we need one. So we'll have one for large ships, one for small ships, and then we'll go from there. With that said, we're quite far away from large ships. We need to get some other things going first, and as you can see, I've been clearing out, well, hopefully you can see, I've been clearing out the space on the bottom here with our miner craft, which we've got there, the one that's just no hydrogen thrusters at all. And I've been clearing it horizontally. We clear it vertically as well. It just means that this gives me room to then put layers of flooring in as I actually clear, and I'll continue to do that, but probably not so much on camera. It's a fairly useful technique when you've got a flat bottomed and flat bottom drill what's up there? Flat bottom drill section there, in that they will clean out nice horizontal and vertical spaces for you, rather than some kind of star or round pattern. We will get to round pattern stuff probably when we get on to planet destroyers. I mean, tunnel balls? Yes, those are the things. So, yeah, I will need to keep doing that. Now, the problem with this setup that I've built so far is it's just not fast enough, particularly on this side. All the ferrous stuff, it's basically filling up that arc furnace. So if we just have a look at the arc furnaces, show me the arc furnaces, control panel, not control panel, inventory. Arc furnace is here, so arc furnace 2. You can see it's pretty much full, and the sorter that's pulling stuff out of it is also full, probably because the connector will keep refilling it from our craft. In fact, no, it won't, because I've not locked the connector at the moment. It's just unlocked. But if it was locked up there, if it was green, it's yellow right now, then we would have it continually refilled, and we could do that, but I want to do more mining. So in order to fill that one out, we need to have a bank of these things to get rid of. I mean, just look at how much iron we're going to have. So yeah, we need to get rid of that first. 1 second. Okay, so we're going to put in an extra couple of, well, let's label blast furnaces, but they are arc furnaces as far as the game's concerned. And both of those are now on. We are, however, going to need to link them to the rest of this incoming. Well, oh, and this is one other point, by the way. I did get someone actually saying about why I could walk off the end. It turns out I just created the gravity generator with just slightly too small a height. So as soon as I stepped off here, I was out of the gravity field, and hence I could walk down walls. So I just increased that just by a couple of meters, and it's perfectly fine now. If I go off here, I will fall and then hit the floor, and then because I've got local boots that can walk on things apparently. I do like this. I don't remember this ever being a game, so it must be a relatively newer feature. I don't remember ever being able to walk across walls like this. I thought, well, if my memory serves me, you used to just be able to just flail it a little bit if you didn't have a jetpack of some kind. So yeah, there's that. In any case, let's get on with the rest of this. So we need another junction. We can't use a tube here. We definitely need junctions. And let's see. Oh, we've got everything we need for that. That's good. And how about you? No, I'm probably short of stuff. So construction components, small steel tubes. And we can run around gravity, which is nice. Construction components, small steel tubes. I think they'll be down in Ooh, I'm going to need some more, aren't I? So let's just... Production, construction components. Let's get a couple of hundred of those. We will eventually add a script to the game that will keep us in, you know, a certain amount of components, but that's a little bit later once everything is more built up than what we have at the moment. Yeah, I'm still short of 6, but it should be functional now, which means all of these should be actually active. So if we just go to here, yes, it's pulling in more iron. So if I head up to our ship, let me just check its inventory. It has 250,000 iron ore. So if we just get inside for a second and hit the P key, then we can go and look at this. Let's see how much of that is pulled out. There it goes. It's disappearing. Yeah, no, it's not emptied. So I think we are still short of enough container storage. Now, what we could do is change this, or change one of these things here to a junction. That might be a possibility. And then we can have some kind of cargo can as a storage or a buffer storage. And that works like this. We can obviously, we'll be moving this line anyway. So if we have 5 of these along the bottom, that seems a reasonable amount. And it will be symmetric around this. This is a large cargo can. It's a very large cargo can. In fact, there are mods with even larger, so I don't think this is the largest we can get. However, this is certainly going to be enough for now. And I just want to make sure it's attached on multiple locations, just in case of the worst. We don't want a cargo can detaching that's this large. And then we can insert from any side we like, of course. The large cargo can is fairly flexible. It will, however, take perhaps more ingredients than I have on me. Lots of interior plates, it looks like. Construction components, yeah, so let's get a few of those sorted. Metal grids, construction components. So metal grids are straightforward. Production, we've got an inventory here. Can we actually... No, it's a shame we can't grab straight from there. That would be useful, but nope. Let's grab some construction components, lots of interior plates, and let's just see if we can fill this thing up. More interior plates even. And this is why I need a separate component cargo can. That's going to be very, very useful, and I'll set that up pretty soon. In fact, we might well do it this episode, not quite so sure yet. So yeah, that's taking shape. So I'm going to finish that off, and then I'm going to add a couple more arc furnaces. And then what we'll need to do, I think, and did I align this right? I did, good. Is probably put a sorter here going down, because this is then going to be a buffer. So this sorting thing will come straight to the top. We'll go around, we'll actually can detach that entire section once everything else is done. And then the, was it a sorter? One of these. Sorter, I hope. Are you a sorter? Conveyor sorter, yeah. We'll just go straight through, and anything then will unload from our ship. It will unload everything. This is going to be a fairly large container as far as that's concerned, and then we should be okay, I think. So let me just probably need to get rid of a few things to give me some space, and make sure I put some more interior plates on production. There you are. Okay, so I'm going to complete that now. I'm going to put in a couple of arc furnaces, and we'll come back once that's done. And there we go, we've got 5 of them now running. Well, at least 5 of them operational. Our large cargo can is being fed just by, in fact, we don't even need a junction there, but I'll leave the junction just for flexibility. Yeah, being fed by our ship, or at least it will be once I turn that on in a second. That will go into the cargo can, which has 4 million litres, 4.2 million litres of space. And by comparison to... Oh, what's this one? This is a small cargo can. Has a capacity of 156,000, so many, many times larger. And that then has a conveyor sorter underneath, which is set to convey only ores. So just in case, it's not going to try and push anything else. Not that these will take anything else, but it will push all ores that enter this. But of course, this is protected from any other ore apart from the ferrous ones by this sorter. So that should just be a container for the future for iron. And because this asteroid is huge amounts of iron, that will just mean that I can mine effectively using this craft, because then I can unload the system just by enabling the connectors, and you'll see all of it should disappear. Yeah, there we go. All of it gone. Yep. And let's just exit for a second. Press P again. And now we're completely empty and ready to carry on mining. So that is... Whoops. I don't want to actually just rock that for a little while. One thing I did notice, by the way, once this is full, the left and right are completely ineffectual. we can't move left and right very effective at all. In fact, I don't think it even moves. So I'm just going to take out these two. And I think I'm going to put an extra thruster right there. And is there anywhere else we can put thrusters? Yes, I think there is. I think left and right thrusters, that is. We can put them here pointing outwards, so that'll be one further block space out to the left and right. We're covered by that, I think, because the drill should clear up to one extra space. So I can fit one more on each side without more amends. And I think, is there anything behind there that we can fit in? That's not essential. This is normally where I cut off, you know, one half of the entire ship and it all just falls into pieces. It's a bit flimsy that these junctions are actually... these junctions are the things that are holding things together at the moment. There's these two bars, of course, but I think... Let's just see if I can improve this a little bit. So let's just grab some more thrusters. And we want the ion thrusters. Configurable kind. There we go. 8. So if we put one, let's just rotate you. We need steel plate to build the first parts of them, so that's 4. And if I just take off this bar and this bar and this bar, then I can put another one right there. It's 5. This, I can't put one there because it's right in front of this thruster, but I can put one further back if I'm willing to do it. There. So it doesn't matter if they're ion stream, don't cross the streams, guys. If they're ion streams, a very old joke. If they cross, it doesn't really much matter at all. So we can do that on both sides. So that's up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is there a 7th location we can get without expanding this? Well, maybe here, but then that's right next to the connector. So I'll put it there, but if that turns out to be a problem, hey, you know which thruster's going to have problems first, don't you? So I'll put those and assemble them on both sides, and let's see if that actually is neat. We've got, remember, 9 on the back, and we don't have that many facing forward. We've got 6 facing forward, which should hopefully stop us. If that's going to have problems when we're full, then we're not going to be able to stop without turning around and then using our rear thrusters. So yeah, I may face more trouble because I don't think I've got a space with 5 blocks in front of it without putting them 1 block further out. So I can build an extra layer like right there going upwards, but then we're chancing what our drills can clear. So I'd rather just keep them in the same block space for the moment, and let's see how that looks. Okay, so that's our ship upgraded. I did put, so we got 5, 6, 7. We could put another one in parallel with this one, so 8, I guess, if we needed more side to side, but that's more side to side when we have braking. So the other thing I could think of that now everything is connected a bit more solidly is we could remove this top bar and have another braking thruster, just like this one. But here, that makes things more symmetric. And I've put some more sort of reinforcement on the top here. We could add another layer. Oops, not there. I'll fix that later. And that just reinforces this whole top. It just makes it slightly harder to get into the thing, but that's not really much of an issue, is it? And there. That sort of fills out the top layer of the ship. There we go. So we should still be able to get in and still be able to control the thing just fine. So let's just detach and pull away. Nope. You're not going to let me pull away, are you? Or is that attaching? Ah, that is attaching. Fine. Let's just... There we go. So now this should be able to move us, and we'll see whether that moves us once we're full. However, I have a great deal more mining to actually do, I guess, just to clear out more floor space, or underneath the floor space, in particular because I want enough space down there that I can fit the mine underneath and continue to mine. So just to briefly demonstrate what I've been doing, let's just bring ourselves down till we're at the surface, or just above the surface, because the drills do clear more, remember. So we can turn on our drills now. You'll see when they bite. Line ourselves up with a platform or with the previous kind of drill activity. And just push forward, really, little bits at a time. You can set speed override on thrusters so they'll move forward slowly. You tend to do that a lot more when you're onto the whole tunnel bore sort of situations, where you'll actually set it going through an asteroid and just walk away. You'll just get out of the tunnel bore, leave it behind, or indeed, if it's a large enough ship, it'll be on board. You'll have onboard quarters and stuff while it just tunnels its way through and gathering all the resources. But we're a ways away from that. So, yep, going forward, let's see how that compares. We're a bit lower than the rest, but that's okay. That's not much of a problem. We can always move across and bring this down. As you're actually moving forward, you'll probably notice that either you'll get deflected just because we don't have enough mass to stop the drills from deflecting us at the moment, or gyroscopes. I guess I could put more gyroscopes in and see if that actually helps the situation. That's worthwhile testing. Let me just stop there for a second and get out. So if I put gyros, doesn't really much matter where we put them, does it? As long as I can continue to access that. So we could put them on the back of the cockpit there, maybe. Let's just see. I'm sure some of you comment saying gyros will not help at all. It's just mass, and that may well be true. That may well be true. The only downside of putting gyros on, it tends to make you spin the craft around like crazy when you're trying to change orientation. I just need some computers and motors for that. That shouldn't be very hard. I think I've been crafting some of the computers at least. Yeah, computers, motors. There we go, 1 functional. 2 and 3. Aww. 1 large steel tube. Okay. I might actually got any... Oh, I do have some large steel tubes. Fair enough. I'm going to have to manufacture more of those. Let's just get down to here. And that's 3. Okay. I know they're not all facing the right direction. I may have to sort that out later. But if we bring ourselves down and line ourselves up sort of with the underside of the deck-ish. May need more precise controls than that. And push ourselves forward. Are we getting deflected? Yeah, maybe we are. So maybe we just need some more mass. And I'm not going to do that on a small ship. On a large ship, that'll be much, much easier to do. On this small ship, it should just be good to just be able to zoom out and line ourselves up once I let go of Alt in nice, neat little rows. So it somewhat feels like farming simulator, except yeah, we are farming ore. Lots and lots of iron ore in this case. So we'll bring the entire level of the asteroid down. Here we go, our drills are about a third full, which means if they're not emptying, it means our cargo cans are full. And that in turn means we need to be able to move. So it looks like we can actually move laterally. It's a bit slow, but can we brake? More to the point. Yeah, we can still brake, that's fine. We just may have to make sure that, well, if we're full, we don't head straight towards our asteroid. That might be a bit of a problem. As you can see, even to slow ourselves down, you'll see it takes a little while, even when we're moving quite slowly. So yeah, we have to be a bit guarded against that. Eventually, of course, we'll move on to large craft, which will be much better at it. Or, you know, we have some kind of hydrogen system on a craft like this. Not terribly concerned about hydrogen at the moment when we're in space, but that certainly will give you the power you need if the ion thruster sort of mini ion thruster approach does not get you what you need. So let's get that there. Those steel plate around the connectors will have problems. They'll eventually get damaged by doing that, but not much I want to do about that just yet. Let's just empty everything. Oh, let me turn off the drills while we're attached to the platform before it shakes the platform apart. And we should see it emptying. Certainly all the drills have gone. Yep, and it's still emptying the medium cargo cans. It's not instant, unlike stationaries. It does take time to move materials and gases and stuff like that. Well, gases we don't have to worry about, but materials, yep. Okay, and we can disconnect again, leave this behind, and go back to mining if we want to. In my case, I'm not going to do more mining on camera. I'm just going to check, make sure this is going. Interesting, it's not in there, so are these keeping up entirely? They're certainly full. All of iron, I would imagine. Yep, this last one isn't full. I'm not sure how it's allocating them, whether it's round robin or whether it just... well, I'm not even sure at all, whether it's just random when you have junctions like this. I guess we could design a system that would feed them through, but we'd have to separate them and all kinds of stuff like that. No problem anyway. No problem about even distribution. They all should work just fine. Do we have any controls for anything special controls? Don't think we do on the arc furnace. It's just use the conveyor system. So that's fine. And then all of that iron should get pulled. Ooh, that's a good point. It won't get pulled until we replace this with junctions on this side as well. So let's get that going. Otherwise, I won't be able to empty. Not that it's much of an issue at the moment because just the iron, once processed, takes up much less room. But we definitely want that to happen. So it's just going to be interior plates, isn't it? Everything else I should have interior plates and construction components. Let's get that sorted. I thought I had told those to build. Let's hope I did. Interior plates, construction components I'm going to need more of. And let's tell it to build more interior plates as well, because I've just taken those out. Do I have any construction components? Not many at all. Not sure how many of those junctions need. How many do you need each? Let's see. 30 each? Okay. And they're all functional. Ooh, one thing I didn't want to mention, by the way, I am on the most current release now, and the multiplayer test finally finished, and then is now pretty much ready and deployed. So if you guys want to play multiplayer, a much improved version is now available from Space Engineers. It always used to be janky and just basically would cause all kinds of desync issues between different players, and that would cause explosions. Essentially, the Kraken from Kerbal Space Program came across and ruined your day. But that apparently doesn't happen anymore. Well, much reduced, I would have thought, so much happier. So now this should all empty these, and now I can actually get to the... both of the access ports on those have been covered now, so I can't just get to them. Let's take a look at this side. Let's take a look at the arc furnace. Look at arcs. So yeah, you see they're all emptying, and that does mean if we look for ingots, there we go. So 375,000 iron ingots so far. We've got an iron-rich asteroid, of course, which is making that work particularly well. This is why probably next episode I'm going to separate the components again and have maybe the small cargo can. Maybe I'll put in another large cargo can for the components and the ingots, so that we don't have to worry about it pretty much forever after that point. It does mean I'm probably going to need more space for it, though, because that's gigantic. So the other thing we could do is remove this bar. What we could do is put this bar on this end, facing... back up and into another large cargo can, and that could be the ingots cargo can. Large cargo can. The materials are pretty much irrelevant to us at this point, so we can just make more materials. So we have a separate cargo can that is not connected to this one except through these. That does mean, however, if that's going to be the ingots, then this refinery has to be connected to it. So what we may have to do is rework that for refinery location or deal with that in some way. I don't know. Maybe I should turn it over to you guys to have a comment. What do you think? How should we build the system? Because we're definitely going to need to get rid of that to allow this to become a giant portal. You can see where the top might be up there, and then down this side with like a secondary hangar. So we're going to need to remove a lot of this anyway. You'll see this lines up roughly with that kind of level there. We could raise the floor level a little bit here, but eventually we'll just move everything anyway. But for now, it's a nice, useful spot with easy access to the outside. So yeah, do comment on it below. Let me know what you think. And if I'm going wrong anywhere, obviously let me know there as well. Okay, and I think that will do it for this episode. We're coming up to 25 minutes or so on the timer, so that should be good. Next episode, we'll probably have to remove the refinery, and we may even get into building a welding ship, because it's very fast to run around with just steel plate and just make this kind of construction level of steel plate, and then we have a welding ship of some kind to weld this all up. The idea there being that that would dock to wherever our component bin is, and the component bin would just empty into it a lot of the time. And for building the base, that makes it just really useful to have essentially a mobile cargo can with all the components you need, so I don't have to keep running backwards and forwards to that cargo can at all. And of course, then later on, we'll get into a welding platform and all kinds of fun with static welders on pistons and rotors potentially. Usually just pistons though. It's easiest to do it with just pistons. In any case, I hope you liked the episode. Feel free to like, subscribe and share if you have. And next episode we'll get onto all of that stuff. As always guys, thanks a lot for watching.